lunchtime, middle of the week, and we have yet another presentation for you, right? So we have just a couple of the guest panelists here. We are currently awaiting word from Mr. Jonathan and Mr. Joel Gooding, who should, I guess, both join us shortly. All right, so today we have a pretty interesting webinar, and it's not very tech oriented. It's more about protecting yourselves online, right? So we wanted to do something with to help out the general public because we see so many cases, and every week we have people asking us about how to help them recover social media or email accounts or something with banking information, right? So we kind of wanted to just try something where we could just advise, give you all general advice, but it should be enough to help you lock down your accounts and stay safe. All right, so we want to touch on all these things with social media privacy. That second point, preventing oversharing, that is very, very important because sometimes the way that people get access to your account is that they just look at things that you would have put out there yourselves, right, to make you an easier target in particular. All right, but we want to look at securing a lot of your information out there, social media, messenger, banking, email, and maybe some of these scams involved. So we are just one more way after this one from bringing this series to a close for 2025. So this is webinar number 8, and as usual, your certificates, it should be mailed out anytime between 1 hour to 24 hours after the webinar ends, right? About CFSI, Computer Forensic Security Institute. We do everything under the sun where cybersecurity is concerned, risk management, penetration testing, vulnerability assessments, digital response, digital forensics, incident response, ransomware response, and advanced cybersecurity training. So if you're wondering about doing the certified ethical hacker, computer hacking forensics investigator, certified threat intelligence analyst, and the flagship certification, which is the certified chief information security officer, one of the most interesting exams I've ever done, right? We're the only place in the Caribbean that offers all of this type of training. Right, we wrote some of the books on it. My colleagues and I here, we wrote these books, and we also technical reviewers and editors. I run in a circle with a bunch of nerds. That's all I can say. All right, so presenter, that's me, Shiva, right? You'll feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn. I have the LinkedIn app on my phone, so I'm always there, responsive to messages. We have Mr. Alex Sam, that's the bright boy, that very bright smile there. It shows a very bright future also. The photo of the year belongs to Deodat Ganga. That's a stunning resemblance there. We
Besides this,
have
if I
the
have to,
CFSI's model, Mr. Jonathan Harbe. Johnny isn't here just yet, so we could make some fun of him. We are missing one profile, which is Mr. Joel Gooding, because Joel only messaged me, I would say, at 11:59 to tell me to add him to the webinar. So when he shows up, he shows up. Um, but let's just jump into it one time, right? It's, yeah, 5 minutes only. This is good. So we went through the agenda, some of the things we want to look at today. We're just keeping yourselves safe online, right? Because the goal of this webinar is really for you all to be able to share this information with either your colleagues, your kids, parents, elderly, for everyone, right? And for you all to help people secure their information online. Is that just for 2024, there was a report that said that you had close to 5 billion social media users worldwide. I don't know if this is unique users or if this is just everyone, regardless of whether or not you have email accounts or catfish accounts or research accounts. We call it sock puppets, right? So a lot of security reasons. Sometimes they have to make fake accounts, but a lot of malware actors and threat actors out there, they also have social media and fake accounts. Just today, I was having a discussion with some colleagues and students and stuff about LinkedIn. And if you have some recruiters requesting your username and password on LinkedIn so that they could view your profile. So of course, if you have requests like that, that is usually some sort of scam because they'd like to kick you out of that profile and hijack your profile, steal your identity, and maybe reach out to other people on LinkedIn. So across any platform, security is really very important. It doesn't matter what account, what platform, Facebook, all of the Meta platforms, right? So Meta will be the company that owns Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram. You have Microsoft owning LinkedIn, you have Twitch, you have YouTube, you have your banking apps, you have your Gmail, email, anything at all. Basically, once you can sign in something, you have to protect it. It's no use, I have a username and hopefully with that's right. We'll talk about passwords are no longer secure. Have to be very careful either as a older brother, sister, parent, looking out for younger people, harmful content or messenger apps. It can even sometimes on they don't always content of. And here's Joel. Really impressive. Nice to see you here. Elderly in
So,
particular, money, right? 3 billion the scams. A lot of times you don't know,
Shiva, your
right?
signal,
Sometimes
your
I think recently
signal
there was something about
is
price smart and price smart. Oh, drop in.
your signal will coming in and out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, you guys jump in for the meantime. Now I'm not sure why this happening.
Okay, no problem. Yeah. So I mean, there was a significant amount of breaches that we could talk about when it comes to like the social media, particularly. I think everyone has gotten those text messages recently. Like she was talking about with like the TT post related stuff. There's a DHL one that was out recently. RBL has a lot of these happening. It's gotten to the point where even Scotiabank sends out notifications alerting people of, hey, just be mindful of these particular scams are happening. And it's not just text messages. It's WhatsApp messages. It's fake websites. Um, I mean, I think the worst I've seen, honestly, and well, not worst in terms of how bad it is, but like how quickly it turns over is with Republic Bank. In terms of you get a text message with a link to a scam website, and when they take it down within a day or two, there's probably a new one popping up. The domain just changed slightly, and it's online.rbl or online.republic instead of the entire thing. So it's imperative that people understand the dangers and how to identify what some of these threats are and how they could how easy it is to fall and how easy to protect both yourselves, get your kids involved, and even your parents involved, understanding on how to protect themselves from falling victim to these things. Yeah.
Um, Alex was dropping a little bit too. So y'all was seen. Did you seen Alex dropping? Or was it just me?
No, I was hearing him dropping slightly. He was fluctuating
Okay.
sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's probably something in general with I don't know
Go
whatever's
to
happening.
webinar. Yeah.
Probably we have too much interception. Yeah, it's probably go to webinar. All right. So guys, sorry about the choppy. Okay, but yeah, great story. They'll jump in, or Joel.
Oh,
Sorry, I
this
came in
this
at
one
that
this one is
I
something.
looked in.
Well, trying to say something. So this I
Give me
drill in
signal.
um social media. Heard me?
Yeah,
Anybody could see me
something
here.
wrong with all
I think it's
the,
webinar
the
happening
signals
I
again.
think
with the
we have a
webinar.
technical
I don't know
issues,
if it's a
guys.
countrywide thing. Yeah, yeah, that's great.
Everybody having issues
Just
over
great.
Yeah, yeah, right,
Yeah, it looks like
right. So
it's something nationwide. I don't
you
know.
guys hear
I hear
me?
everybody okay now. Yeah.
All right, good. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, we share all our information online with social media, and now humans have a tendency to seek validation from strangers, um, to satisfy their own insecurities. So everyone is online. Everyone has a cell phone, and everyone is doing everything that they can. So we have access to everything: email, banking. We communicate. Most people communicate via the social media apps and whatnot. Um, in terms of the passwords, one of the biggest issues is the reuse of the passwords and the use of the weak passwords. I know people whose passwords are QWERTY 12345 6 for everything. I've known passwords like Open Sesame. Um, so you wanna, what is the standard now? I think PCI has gone up to 12 now, right? Or 8? They've gone up to there was 6 before, I think.
There was 6 before, yeah.
All
The
right.
park
So with the
requirement was 6.
new requirements, I think it's 8 or 12, but I would recommend a minimum of 12 passwords, inclusive of 12
12 characters.
sorry,
Characters.
inclusive of uppercase letters, lowercase letters, numbers, special characters. Go in the settings of all your apps, whether it be social media, banking, email, and enable the security settings. Please take off the privacy. Look at the privacy settings. Don't allow people to share your information. Delete your information if you have to. Shiva, watching. I mean, I'm talking too long, right?
No. I was just looking at the signal here to see what was going on with
Yeah, you see, this is exactly what I was talking about. You see these
webinar.
default settings? Check your default settings.
Yeah.
Don't ever leave your default settings.
Default is always really bad. You should never leave any settings on default, especially where your security concerned. Joel would actually be able to tell you all about this
Yeah,
with
yeah.
firewalls and configurations and so on.
So I always say this as well too. It is not just for security. You're right. It's not just for security configurations as well too. Almost everything that people use, whether it's your personal social media accounts, emails, for like if I lose my Gmail address, my whole life gone. I tie in so many things to my Gmail, my identity to different platforms for services that I use. My financial services is also tied into my Gmail. So the dependency for me as an individual tied into just one service it will have a paramount effect on my life. I'm not sure for you guys. Uh, so I'm sure you would have similar circumstances. So ensure it's just like any other valuable that you would have, right? If you don't ensure that you lock down your valuables, you're opening up yourself um, to external attackers being able to try and engage these from you. Uh, Not just these programs alone. You can Google how to lock down any one of the programs, settings, social media services, any one of these things. There is a hardening guide for it. It may not be written by the actual vendor, but it is written by somebody and published out there on the internet. Unfortunately, there are people in our society that are going to fall victim to these, and they will mainly consist of the elderly, as we're talking about that, and younger kids. Just last week, my son, I have a phone, but it's not a phone with a phone number or anything like that. I gave him it because he likes to play those mobile games. And I heard him speaking to somebody over the phone. Well, my ears light up one time. Like, who are you talking to? And there is a voice chat feature in this game that allows you to voice chat with other people. So I was like, wait, so there, hold up here. Let me, who you talking to? I want to hear who did you talking to? And he is in a conversation with a bunch of fully grown men, right? Because they're playing a first-person shooter game. I mean, these are the things you have to pay attention to, right? And we have to be very, very careful about it. Well, immediately I locked down that device one time. He only getting that under the supervision of either myself or my wife. And these are the kind of things you have to pay attention to, right?
That's something that a lot of people don't take into consideration, that we just think about tradition, especially where kids concerned. We just think about traditional communication with WhatsApp, even Telegram, Facebook Messenger, Instagram, whatever. But we do ever think about the games, because the majority of games that the kids play now, they all have either a text chat or a voice chat feature. And then sometimes this could lead to a bit of what you call grooming, where you have predators online and they could tell children, like, it's not too safe to talk on this because your parents, like exactly as what Joel did, right? Your parents might take it away from you. So when no one is looking, go to the Play Store, the App Store, and install this particular stuff. You can hide it. You don't have to have the icon on the home screen or something like that. So it's reached to the point where we have to look at what the kids are doing online and try and play the games that they are playing. Sometimes you might even have to jump on a game and not let them know that you're part of that game, and just see if you're able to talk to them and see what can happen. Of course, in not in any punitive way to punish them or something, but things happen. Kids are naturally curious, right? But it's also good to if you, a lot of people I know, they have kids out there with their Facebook profiles and Instagram profiles as well too. So the ones that we know about that allow this feature where you have view as public, make sure and look at that as well for yourselves as well, because I think most of us who are on Facebook, we have the Facebook profiles locked down, so that if you go to our Facebook profiles, you just see, the profile picture, and that's it. You can't have much access there. But still, if your profile is set to open, that all of that stuff could be used against you. All right. So the trap here is oversharing, because I think in the last 10 years it was sort of ingrained into a lot of us, that it's good to share stuff, that whatever you do, you need to share this stuff. People out there want to know, people out there want to click. So there's also a mental trap of validation for clicks and likes and stuff. It becomes an addiction. All right. So the location tags are one thing where you might put, I'm traveling from Trinidad to Barbados, or from the UK to Canada or something like that. That's a little bit dangerous, because you never know if someone is trying to tell if you're not at home or where you're going to, or to be able to use that to their advantage. Maybe pretend they might be you while you're not in the country. So keep the location tags to a minimum. I would say that if you have to travel, you can probably post up your pics, but do so after you travel, right? Meaning that when you return and stuff, try to limit everything, because everything out there, it can be used against you. Your school, your work details. A lot of people might just ask what could be seemingly unsuspecting questions, but that is social engineering, where they will try to get answers about your private life, your work life, things that again they could use, even if they want to use against you from a financial perspective. If they want to ask you questions, let's say that someone gets your email address, and this is why it's very important to have multiple email addresses. So you have one that you use for everything, right? Like Joe just said, if he loses his email, that's it, right? But these days, everyone has a Gmail account, and you can probably guess that person's account by first name and last name. So if someone tries to log into your Gmail and you don't have certain security features set up, like a multi-factor authentication, your secret questions, and all of these things, they could probably try and social engineer some of the questions that they usually have for Gmail when you try to recover your password. Like, where you might have, we could use Joel as an example, where he would have probably met his wife, or what was the name of his child, or something like that. The usual security questions, right? So you have to be careful that the information that you're sharing does not help people get the answers to these types of questions. And especially with kids' photos, you have to be very, very careful with posting the photos of your kids online, because people could start something called digital kidnapping, where they could use the photos of your kids, even make fake videos and stuff like that, right? To say something like, mommy or daddy, I'm at school, or I left school, or something like that. I need help. I'm at so and so. Please send money to there are 1,000 different scenarios. So the one rule that I have before I hand over to these guys is that this information that I'm putting out there on social media, would I put this up on a billboard for everyone to see? Because that is the reality of it, right? And it doesn't even just have to be a billboard locally. It could be a billboard in Times Square where you have like millions of people probably passing through every year or month or something like that. Guys, anything else you want to share? I'm sure you'll have tips that you could share on oversharing and stuff.
I mean,
Yeah.
one is the same in the location. Don't, like, let's say if you're heading to the beach, you want to tag yourself in Maracas. I mean, I knew a situation where I knew a woman, and she went where someone was talking, and she posted herself and tagged herself in Maracas. And the person actually came to Maracas and found her. So you could leave the location tag so you know when you get back home.
If you want to go one step further and be a bit more paranoid, you could actually, I'm not sure if you guys talked about this before I came on, you actually strip the EXIF data from your photos, because even though you take off the tagging on most of these modern phones, they actually save the GPS data to the photo. So even if you don't manually do it on Facebook or whatever it is, saying that you're at Maracas, I mean, you could still give away a GPS location as well. It's not that hard anymore.
Somehow, I don't think anybody strips the information before uploading.
Yeah, I mean, again, just
nobody except Jonathan strips that information.
Well, yeah. I mean, the tools are again a bit easier now if you know you want to be that paranoid. Yeah.
I mean, I always believe the best thing is to post it when you're not there anymore.
Alex.
After the fact, yeah.
Yeah, because someone could be doing recon on you just like Johnny does. And they might even want to come get you there. They want to find out where you live. They come find you. You post up a photo. Again, let me use the Maracas one. And they come, they wait, they see, they follow you till you get home. And then they find out where you live.
Mm-hmm. I think in like 2011, 2012, Google had a case where a stalker actually stalked a family and the family was murdered. Based off of I'm not sure if it was Google Maps or something, but it was something related to where they stalked them and was able to find where they were living and what time they left and came back and stuff like that. And after that, honestly, a lot of the apps and the services, they started bringing about security features, because even if someone is harassing you online, even to get that person's IP address or information about that person who's harassing you is very, very difficult. People reach out to us all the time to say, maybe someone is harassing them, someone is stalking them, can we help? For instances like this, you usually have to report it to the police and to cybercrime. You can head over to the cybercrime website. It's not just for Trinidad, but for any country that has a cybercrime unit. The only issue there is that sometimes if it's not life-threatening, you'll find that the response is very delayed, right? So if someone is harassing you or threatening you online, the best response actually is no response, right? Try not to engage with them. Get your friends to try and delete the profile, report the profile. That usually works a lot quicker, right? Now, it doesn't help you on information against the person, but especially if threats are being made against you, death threats, or someone is threatening to leak images of you that are, a bit compromising and so on, definitely report it. Regardless of the age, I know it could be an embarrassing situation, but I would say take it seriously. All right. So sometimes how we end up in these situations too is that we don't practice safe browsing habits. And I'm not here to judge anybody, because sometimes it's very clever, right? Sometimes you might see something and genuinely associate it with something that is secure and safe that you're accustomed to. But convenience and familiarity, that is usually where we get into some trouble, right? So be careful with the links that you click on that are sent. They have a lot of links. You will see a lot more coming around closer to Christmas season, that people have won this or click here for this giveaway. A lot of companies don't really give away anything anymore, especially locally. I don't see this happening, right? So please be very careful. If you have a link and you think it's suspicious, whoever you get it from as well, warn them about it, because of course the first thing that people do is to share it with everybody. And that's one of the reasons why I think WhatsApp limited sharing to, I think it's about 5 people or one group at a time, plus 4 people, something like that. Right? So they tried to limit it, but the thing is you could just keep sharing and sharing and sharing. Um, Alex teaches a lot of our stuff with Certified Ethical Hacker. Alex, do you have any other additional advice for us here with safe browsing habits?
Yeah, pay attention to shorten links. You see those short
Mm,
links? You, they could hide very malicious links inside of there because remember it just shows up as short.link, or like if you share a YouTube video, it shows up as yout.ube if I remember correctly,
mm,
or
yeah.
YTube or something like that. So it's a very short, so you don't know what it is. So it's easy for attackers to register a domain close enough to what it is and then hide that inside of a shortened URL, and then particularly send it to like a text message, like in a text message form, because when you get a text message, there's no way to preview that shortened link. You have to copy it and then go to a website, but at least if you get it on a desktop, you can at least kind of hover over it. And most applications, at least Outlook, if I remember correctly, at least still shows you what that shortened link will take you to. So that's one of the main things I would talk about. I would add on top of that as well. Just be mindful of shortened links.
Yeah, guys, y'all have anything you want to add to it? Joel raising his hand. Yes.
I can't believe I had to say this, but don't buy nothing from nobody on Facebook, please. I don't care how much money you're saving. I don't care. I don't care. Don't buy nothing from nobody on Facebook. Don't go and meet nobody nowhere, right? I'm assuming everybody in the audience is from Trinidad, but just in case you're not, um, this is not the ideal place to meet people with money in your hand. There have been several reported instances where unscrupulous persons are
Yeah.
putting items up for sale. And I mean, if you're gonna save $500, you might be inclined to look further into a deal like that. But I mean, Christmas coming up, these guys are gonna start preying on young people and older elderly persons.
Hmm.
Buy something in a mall or in a store, or use a
Online.
reputable service.
Especially with the PlayStations, you have in Trinidad, you have a lot of people from the Caribbean, locked down in Canada and stuff too. But in Trinidad, we have a growing scenario where a lot of people that want to either buy PlayStation 5 or sell the PS5, they ended up in a lot of trouble with scammers. I was reading something from a WhatsApp group where someone sold someone a shell of a PS5. There was nothing inside it, just the shell, and they fill it up with some crap to make it heavier and stuff. And I think the person paid like 4,000 or 5,000 TT for it. All right, so be please, yeah, I would go with Joel if you could just stay away from Facebook Marketplace. I mean, it's unfortunate because you have a lot of people who would genuinely want to buy or sell stuff, but these days, honestly, it's just too much
But
trouble.
yes,
For the ad blocker and the antivirus, I just use Bitdefender antivirus and it works pretty well for me, guys. I don't know if you all use any other type of tech for like
Avast
antivirus.
works well. You can pay for
Fast is
Avast.
good
Even the
too.
free version has a good web
Hmm.
blocker for malicious URLs and spam.
Yeah. Alex and Johnny just go in raw. They don't believe about antivirus and
Yeah,
spammers and
that makes no
stuff.
sense.
Um,
Yeah,
they
well,
was talking about this just now with the minimum characters, right? So 12, I would say 15 characters, but 12 is okay. And please mix it up to passphrases instead of passwords, right? And unique password per account. Enable two-factor authentication everywhere. Anybody, Alex, you want to jump in, or Johnny, anybody want to jump in and tell about the importance of passphrases in particular?
the main reason that we're trying to avoid using the word password is that you tend to remember a phrase a lot easier because it tends to be something that's memorable to you. So, for example, your favorite line in that Destra song that like, you could just reword that into a passphrase and boom, you easily hit that 25 character password. I mean, don't use a line like Literally, no initial comes to mind right now. Actually, that might be a
Alex is
damn
more
good password.
familiar. He's more familiar with Nyla Blackman passwords. inside joke, right? But the
So,
password, for those of us in the Caribbean in particular, it's really easy for us to use dialect, right, and come up with a
yeah,
unique passphrase. So a passphrase is much easier to remember than a very complex password. But the passphrases are usually a lot longer, and so far, passphrases have proven to be a lot safer than passwords, even if they are complex. So you could start using a passphrase and enable two-factor authentication everywhere on every account that you can log in, whether it's social media, whether it's your banking, whether it's some random thing that you log into. It
just
does not matter. Go ahead, Alex. Yeah.
to close on the password thing. So when I do pen tests and we do get access to like Active Directory and stuff, we do save the passwords that we find and we build out what they call a password list. So the password list I have has been running for the last 10 years or so with every compromise we were successful in. And I would use that password when we do social engineering activities. And you will not believe that there are repeat passwords up the islands. The one the most commonly occurring is Blessings 2019. That particular password repeats a lot throughout the Caribbean. Not forget the 2019 part, because it's literally just the word blessings and the year that they change the password. So I wouldn't be surprised if I go somewhere and find blessings 2025. So try and avoid using single word and use phrases instead. That's what the main takeaways here.
So
Please, for the love
blessings
of God, do not use your
2026
name.
should be valid.
It's actually
Your
Another
name, your children's names, your pet names, no names.
the children's name, date of birth. I so many people I know use their child's name followed by the date of birth, or they use the date of birth
Mhm.
as the pin. Yeah. Another thing, just one thing I want to mention. Every single person that I have spoken to that has their social media hacked did not have two-factor authentication enabled.
Yeah.
Every single one. So I mean, again, two-factor everything, zero trust.
I took some screenshots there to show you all especially how to lock down WhatsApp and Facebook. Well, Facebook and Meta, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, they're all under Meta, right? So pretty much what we're saying is that any app that you use, click on settings and see if they have a security setting or privacy setting or something like that.
premise.
And please explore those options. Every app that you use, right? Especially, I would say start off with the top ones like your social media and your messaging apps and your banking apps as well. And then from there, you could go ahead and see about the others. Because, I mean, we live in a time of information overload and app overload, right? We all suffer from something called app fatigue because if you have to buy or anything these days, they want you to install an app to get this done, to install an app to get that done. And that was okay back in the day, but now you find that there's so many exploits for every single thing out there. You have to be very careful. An app for a business these days could actually be a liability now because you always have to make sure that it's constantly updated. For those of you all that use, I think for us in the Caribbean, a lot of us would use the Digicel app. And for me, a lot of times the Digicel app doesn't work, but then I realize it's not that the app isn't working, it's just that I have to constantly update the app itself, unfortunately, manually sometimes. But that's how it should be. The app should be constantly updated, preferably automatically. But then again, with the amount of variations for different phones and types of Android devices you have there, it's a lot more difficult when compared to Apple devices. Whereas Apple devices, you just have Apple on the App Store and stuff. For the Messenger apps, Johnny, I think I hear and I saw from by.
You still hearing it?
Yes,
Yeah,
please.
I'll just put these headphones on. I'll just mute.
All right. So don't worry, don't worry.
it
Yeah,
was a
yes.
screen.
As the Osprey.
Yeah. Somebody take this one. I don't know who wants to take it. If Dale or Joel or Johnny wants to take this one.
Can I go ahead, Dale?
Anybody. Yeah.
There
Yeah,
you
yeah,
go.
go ahead. Yeah.
Well, so and see, we spoke about it already. Locking down the applications and software and services that you use. If you just Google whatever messenger system that you're using and how to restrict it, because some, by default, some applications allow anybody on the planet, once they have an account, to reach out to you directly. There should be controls that say, and we'll talk about this coming up in WhatsApp as well too. Who should be allowed to message you if it's from your contacts or not? Uh, should messages be automatically downloaded, or should it pop up with a message saying this is content that was delivered, do you want to download it? Whether it's a picture, a video, another contact as well too. I'm not sure if you guys be seeing a lot of what's happening with Android and even Apple iOS systems, but there are a lot of backdoor RATs that can be spread and propagated throughout these kind of systems. So all of this information is freely available online. Just Google how to lock down whatever program or software service that you're using, and there is a guide somewhere on the internet to how to do it. So very helpful.
Joe brought up a real good
You
point
see
there,
the
and that is where unknown numbers to message you and stuff is not a good idea to have unknown numbers messaging and calling. Go ahead, Alex. Sorry.
I was going to say to the first point, the end-to-end encryption does not equal privacy. Is the same that I've heard that from a lot of people just because they see that encryption as applied to communication means you're secure. Always remember, security, the encryption really and truly prevents others from the outside looking in, right? But if you are compromised already, or the person you're talking to is compromised already, then it doesn't stop anything from happening. You still have zero privacy at that point. So do not assume that because you see the end-to-end encryption saying that, yeah, it's encrypted, you're secure. That's not the case. Never assume that. And that applies also to the VPNs. A lot of people say because they're using VPNs, they are secure, they are protected. But that VPNs can leak information. VPNs, like I said, if you are compromised or another person is compromised, then the VPN is not going to do anything. It's actually what it means is that I'm a direct link to you now, and you are directly my target at this point in time, as opposed to how it will be in any other situation.
Right, so for WhatsApp, now this is the business WhatsApp that I have for CFSI's number there. But once you click on settings, you should see similar things pretty much like this, right? Look at the settings, you'll see account, you'll see privacy, right? So when you go to account, you'll see these things like two-step verification. This one in particular is very, very important, right? So you definitely want to set up an email address and two-step verification. All right. So basically with the two-step verification, they will ask you for a number that you have to come up with, right? If you lose this number or this code, that's it. You can't get back access. But the good news is if someone tries to install WhatsApp or tries to hijack your WhatsApp, they have to have this code, right? WhatsApp will routinely, like maybe every 2 weeks, ask you for this PIN, so that's fine. But don't give it out to anyone else. If someone sends you a link and the link is asking for the code, no, that's not it, right? So I would need everybody, if not now at the end of this webinar, to go ahead and set up your two-step verification. There's also this email address feature now where you can tie your number into your email address. So should something happen, you tie it specifically back to an email address. It does not have to be the email address that you entered when you set up WhatsApp. So sometimes when you set up WhatsApp, it will automatically tie to your Gmail account if you're on Android, for example, but you can tie it into something else, right? And you have the other options, yeah, like passkeys and stuff if you want to. But I would say you see two-step verification on the email address. Make sure, please do set that up today because it makes it a lot more difficult for someone to hijack your WhatsApp from you. Right? With the passkeys, that's another way to securely log in and protect your account. You could create a passkeys. It's just another way to log in, but it's more secure. Sometimes too in the settings inside privacy and stuff there, you could also see settings on who else is logged in or where else, sorry, that you're logged in with WhatsApp. Because let's say that sometimes you hand someone your phone quickly, they could easily scan that to log into another machine or another device, a tablet, even something else that doesn't even have a phone number tied to it, right? So check and see where your devices are logged in as well, and whatever you don't realize, just log out. Guys, if anybody else wants to jump in and add here, take it away.
Even with the one thing on that logging into other devices, you could be logged into a PC with WhatsApp even while the phone is off now. So before, you still needed to have an internet connection to the phone or an active one with the phone on. Now you don't even need to do that. So even if that same thing, someone could easily get that QR code, scan it, log in, and it doesn't matter whether your phone is on, if it's connected to internet, they'll still have access to your messages.
One thing about that too is that when you do log into the WhatsApp web, particularly, and usually you're supposed to get a notification indicating that you have a recent login. Sometimes that login can come in like 5 minutes after you actually do the login. Sometimes it may come in the next day. I have seen instances where WhatsApp takes a long time to notify you that you have done a remote login. So just be mindful of that as well too. So you need to be checking where you are logging remotely constantly just to verify that.
Just to also add into this, there are a lot of people who see the notices from these programs like WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, and stuff like that. Yes, the screen says end-to-end encryption, but that does not mean that your data is not visible. There's the same question that gets asked all the time. Can anybody see your messages and the data that you're transmitting in these programs and applications? And the answer is astoundingly yes. Whatever data you are sending, whether it's confidential data in nature, this data can be seen by either the telco provider or the application owner, whatever institution it is. And something to mention as we're on this call is governments. Your data is not secure and confidential just to you. There are agreements in place for governments to access data from these kinds of providers. And the question you really need to ask yourself is, if you are using a service for free, then you have to understand that you are the product. Nobody gives this. In Meta, would build like $3 billion companies and just give away the service for free to use. Why? Right? They are collecting data on you and the kinds of things that you are interested in, your likes, your dislikes. What do they do with this data? Right? That we have time to discuss that further in other webinars because that's a whole different ballgame. But you are going to see more and more because it's happening. I've seen instances of it happen. When you travel, authorities may ask you to hand over your phone, right? Yeah. And they will ask you to unlock it because they want to access the kind of data. And even if you wipe this data, remember everything is tied into central authentication and you're using email addresses as the verification method. So they can see the social media handles that you have. There are instances where people have wiped their phones and try to go into other countries with blank phones, and they know they're not stupid. They know that you're gonna wipe the phone or using a booter, right? So just be. We should not have to see this in 2025. There should be the concept of data privacy and proper privacy validation. But how to say this in a PC way on this call? Things are changing in the rules, right? So, be careful. That's all I'll say. Be careful of what you do and what you say online. These things are not going to be something that you can hide for forever. Yeah.
Just to add a little bit again, I think then the privacy settings, you could actually go back to what Shiva was saying before in terms of us like people, let's say stalking you or whatever it is. You could actually hide your details, like your profile picture and whatnot, from people that are not on your contacts. So probably go through your settings and have a look at all those settings and enable things like that. So just no random person could add you on WhatsApp and see your picture, stuff like that. And I think you could actually also enable
For
encryption of your backups as well. I'm not too sure if they do it automatically now, but I believe it just used to be there on your phone. But you can actually encrypt the backups that's present on the phone itself.
automatically because feature anytime to ask you if you want and book on Instagram is the reason why I have these. I just wanted you all to see, you'll find the same feature are there for every um social media. Wherever you see too far stuff here too, right? Nicely to give you a security because the features. So you let me try this out. Let me usernames and passwords dealers out there that but they also work on your phones, your tablets, whatever devices you use, right? So I put the second point inside of here for a reason that consider using a unique email for your banking apps. So let's say that my name is Joel Gooding and I have one email address for every single thing
Shiva,
on the internet,
Shiva.
right? And as Joel said, yeah, cutting off again.
So you would check it for the entire last slide.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Well, yeah. It's go to webinar. I don't know what's going on there, but I don't know. Alex, you want to try it out, or Dave, you want to try it out?
no, we hear it clearly now. So
Yeah, it's just when I talking apparently. I don't know what's going on with interference, but um yeah, consider using the email, a unique email for your banking apps, right? Save you can even have three emails, one for everything, another for your socials, and another for banking. So it's just unfortunate now that that's where we are, but if you have an email for, I would say, social and banking, don't put your name in it. Have nothing associated with you in it. All right. Like for example, you could make one with Jonathan's coconut trees at gmail.com. Um,
Sexy
you know,
Princess 2019.
yeah, Deus hair does not move at gmail.com. All right. So another good practice is to lock your credit cards. You see, especially with the Christmas season coming up, you are going to have an uptick in credit card fraud, right? So lock your credit cards when not in use. Just go into the settings in your credit card. Do not lock the debit cards. If you lock your debit card, you're going to have to go into the bank and have them reset it for you. Sometimes they might even want to give you a new card. So just leave this alone to credit cards. Only lock the credit cards. You're hearing me consistently.
yeah, we hear you clear.
Okay, if you're not just like wave on your screen or something. So, you know.
But we
I
can
want to
hear
add a
you.
point to the
Yeah,
credit
go ahead,
card,
Joe.
debit card stuff. Please try your best to not use tap to pay when you can. The best thing to do is to insert or swipe the card, put your pin in safely, and use it, because there are people out there like Alex and Jonathan who will capture that tap when you tap it. That is not an encrypted communication happening there. You tap, that's there, or then you open, Alex there, standing right next to you, collects all your information, and then,
Sells it.
Christmas will be very nice, right? Single malt scotch for everybody.
Ah, boy.
Oh, look, you see, a simple device as what Jonathan is using. And you can also buy, I think people should invest in the blockers, the RFID blockers, the
I
magnetic
don't know if
blockers.
they work so well though.
Well, I mean, we could test it if you want.
I tried it out with the flipper, and some of them that I have, it didn't use anything. I have the actual RFID card and the sleeve, and neither of them worked. So, oh, I think Leslie used a wallet, a RFID blocking wallet, and that didn't work either. So I guess it depends on where you are, how close in proximity someone is to you as well. It might have some issues,
But
but
I believe the best scenario might be, call the bank and disable tap to pay on your cards. I do not
oh,
trust tap to pay at all.
I didn't even know you could do that.
So I, by default, one of my credit cards, tap to pay was disabled. I couldn't. I tried it the first time. It never worked. They enabled it without telling me. So I guess that's something they did.
Which credit card is this? You
Um,
want to call the numbers for us?
Yes,
Call
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the
Any
money
number,
back.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
And need a little money back. Didn't we get that one?
Yeah, yeah. That's 69 420.
Oh, okay, right.
It's one character too much.
yeah, a bit too much.
Yeah, but I mean, tap to pay, stay away. Swipe. I mean, it might be a hassle for you, but swipe, put your pin. Yeah, that food looking real good.
One of the things I'll add in general, and this is just not just for banking apps, this is just applications in general. When you are installing an application, verify the permissions that that application is asking for. Because I have a problem when I see a banking app asking for access to my camera. Why? I mean, to take pictures of a check, okay, that may be justifiable. But if I don't do that, then I should be able to just turn off that option altogether.
Even to
Why
your
do I need access to
files,
my microphone? Yeah.
your files, your contacts is ridiculous. And I do notice that all of the banking apps, especially local ones in Trinidad, they
Yeah.
ask for everything, full network access and a camera
And the reason for that is when they are building the app, that is the default state of
Yeah.
the application IDE.
Yeah.
So by default, it will always ask for everything. So they just don't do the correct thing and just turn off what they don't need.
We went through most of this stuff already, which is if you want to have separate emails for banking, social, and whatnot, enable logging notifications so that once someone logs in anywhere else, even if you log in on a separate device, you will get a notification. I have emails and notifications and text messages, everything signed up for credit cards, debit cards, everything. Those are always good things to have. So especially between now and January, you may want to make sure that in the same way that we lock down the social media apps, we lock down the banking apps, we lock down the email as well. You have two-factor authentication for your email. Please take the time and go through these settings just to ensure that you sort of at least do what you can to stay safe, right? For the kids and stuff, Joe and Johnny, you all want to talk about this a little bit?
I would say don't give them any digital tablets or anything like that before certain age. That's my thing on it. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it goes back to everything, right? You don't post pictures of your children. Yeah, I mean, you probably might want to, but try to limit it as much as you could. And again, if you are giving them just say a tablet or a phone or whatever it is, on some of the applications, you actually have like a kids mode. Make sure that is enabled and you're not giving them
Yeah.
just unrestricted access to the application. So just more to pay attention and just be wary of what it is they're actually doing on these devices, because again, they don't know, they're just clicking here, there, and everywhere. So that would be it pretty much for me. And
Joe, you want
limits
to jump
that
in?
screen time.
You hear me now? Hello? Now?
Yeah.
Now?
Yeah, I'm hearing you. Yeah.
So most of us in the Caribbean, I think we have a default to use Android systems. There are a lot of people who use iOS, but the same thing I have up on the screen here with the parental controls. There is a system within Google as well too, for the family link. Very, very important. If you have kids, you can be the parental account, and then you have control over your kids' accounts. So they actually roll back up into you as a parent. Take advantage of this feature, right? It gives you the control. You can see what applications the kids are downloading on their devices as long as your accounts are synced. So you can see exactly what they are doing on these types of devices. It'll be for mobile phones, or it can be for tablets as well too. If you are using systems outside of the kind of general Android operating or ecosystem, there are a lot of paid versions you can install, right? Because not everybody's going to have the kind of tech skills to be able to go into a lot of these things, because it does require a knowledge to go around, get familiar with the controls and the platforms as well too. There are a lot of paid programs that you can purchase that you can install the endpoint on their tablets and their phones and their computers and stuff like that, so that you could pay attention. Now, it might sound like an invasion of privacy, especially if your kid is going into the kind of the teenage years, right? Because we want to give them a sense of independence, and we want to, let them find their own space and stuff like that. But the reality of the situation is that people out here are the worst. They're just the worst, right? There's no getting around that. And they would not have your best interests at heart. So take a look at some of these things. Some of them are paid, some of them are free. You have to find the best one that's most applicable for you. I know that my son is going to hit double digits pretty soon. So I will have to get him either like a combination of a computer to start teaching him things about how to operate a computer, his own tablets, and soon in the coming years he'll get his own mobile phone. So these are things that you have to start looking into now. You can't trust to give kids access to the open internet. I'm not sure if anybody is around our age bracket, but giving me access to the open internet when I was a teenager was a terrible, terrible idea.
Best idea ever.
No, the kind of things we see and the kind of websites that have out there for kids to access. I mean, LiveLeak alone was kind of nuts to give kids access to something like that, right? So I mean, now that we are of this age, we know what to look out for, what kind of parental controls to put in place.
You can also look at, I think, Kindle, the Amazon Kindle, they have a Fire for Kids specifically with a lot of controls already locked down. So I think for the Thanksgiving and Black Friday sale coming up, this should be relatively cheap, like 30 to 50 US, probably around 30 US, right? So it's a kid-friendly tablet with a lot of parental controls on it, and I think it's tied to your Amazon account or something like that, so you could have controls. All right, so it doesn't just end there. You have so many different things that you have to be careful about. Having the device and the controls on the device are one thing, but knowing about the content and what could come your way, and the links, not to click on the links. Again, it all goes back to social awareness, right? Which is why for this month, in Cybersecurity Awareness Month, we needed to have something like this, because you have so many scams out there with grandparents asking grandparents for money. You're stuck somewhere, and usually I guess if you ever observe your parents with their grandkids, I mean, there are no rules and no limits to anything. They just always want to give the grandkids and stuff. Be careful before you forward things as well. Verify all the requests for money. Um, some of the senior friendly apps, they are actually quite restrictive and they don't allow integration with other apps. So it's just that, all of our parents and grandparents, they would use the same apps that we use, which would be if you're using WhatsApp or even Signal, Firewall, but I would say WhatsApp and Messenger app in particular, right? So make sure and lock it down for them, teach them about this stuff, let them know not to just accept friend requests from every single person out there, and not to share every single thing that someone else posts and shares. There's a lot of little things that you have to teach them there. So I can't say the older people are more vulnerable than the younger ones, but it's just depending on how tech savvy some people are, and some people are just totally unaware of the cyber dangers that exist, right? So this is where we have the human firewall, which is what we're all doing. We're talking about online experiences. You have family tech agreements as well that some people are putting out there. But the best practice is really just to pause before posting. I think Deo actually spoke about this in the last webinar, where he said, just take some
Before
time
you
and just
click.
pause. Yeah,
Yeah.
think before you click.
Yeah.
All right, and for harassment, please report harassment to the police station. You could go on the cybercrime website as well to report this. Anything else you all gents want to add to this before we wrap up?
For the senior people, I always tell them this: when in doubt, ask someone.
Ask somebody. Yeah.
Don't be
Yeah.
afraid. I have a lot of people now who ask, like older members of the family. They will forward the link to me because I am cybersecurity, and they could probably be sending
Mhm.
malicious stuff to me. But I mean, I take that mantle on. I send it to me. I will check. Always ask. I mean, I get so much of the KFC stuff,
Oh, yeah.
free KFC. There's one going around
Starbucks.
with Price Smart now. You could get
Yeah.
$1,000, and I'm telling these people, no, right? Ask someone with knowledge. Don't be afraid. Ask the younger ones. They will more than likely be able to vet these things better.
Even Google it, a quick Google search too. It'll usually help you out. Alex, Joe, Johnny, any last words before
Common
we end
sense
this
is one of
webinar?
it. Common sense is one of the best things that will help you, no matter who you are. I mean, we all could say the elderly, this and that, but I mean, I think an elderly person could read a little bit and be like, I didn't order anything from DHL. Why am I getting a text message or
Mhm.
a WhatsApp message about DHL? And that's not just elderly, the young ones as well too. You don't play Roblox, but you're clicking on a link that says free V blocks. You should know better than that. You should know better than that.
And be careful with adding all the friends on all the different messenger apps or the games as well. Be very careful who you add just because if you play Call of Duty Mobile, for example, and you have like 6 or 12 people there and they all want to add you afterwards, please be very careful with these things, what you give them access to, what links they send you, right? For the kids, for everybody, please be very careful.
Before you accept anybody, you have to put them in the gulag directly.
Penny Gulag. Joe, Johnny, anything? Or are we okay?
I would say probably once you have two-factor enabled, now you're too secure.
And
Right, and don't forget about Hector. Never forget about Hector.
I think the best thing for everybody to take into consideration: zero trust. Don't trust anyone, even if you know
anything.
them.
Yeah, yeah.
Vet
Don't even
everybody.
don't even trust us openly.
Yeah,
Just
somebody could be
that's just how it
sending you.
goes.
Yeah, I mean, somebody could be sending you a link for a job, you're looking for a job, things are right now. That person might be someone you trust, someone you know with knowledge. And when you click on the link, you get scam, right? A LinkedIn link, you get scam.
So you have to be careful of the links that you forward to people as well, because that could be a job scam too. They have a lot of job scams taking place right now,
Just because
right?
you know somebody doesn't mean that they weren't
You know
themselves.
somebody.
Correct, correct.
Call them, make a phone call. You send me this link, and be like, hey, no, my Facebook got hacked.
Yeah, when verifying, always call. Don't text and email. Always call the person. If you could video call, better, but that might be intrusive. But just at least do a call and verify. Did you send this link? Is this for real? Something like that before you click on it. All right, gents, thank you so much for your time. It's 1:05, so we will end here, folks. As usual, this will be uploaded to the CFSI CyberFence YouTube channel. We have one more, the last of them, which is protecting Caribbean critical infrastructure. This will be on Friday, 31st October. Is that Halloween? I think that's Halloween, right?
Yes,
For
sir.
yeah, that'll be the last of our CFSI CyberFence webinars. Registration is open on the website. Just go to cfsi.co, scroll down, and you will see webinar 9. You could go ahead and register for that now if you want. But other than that, you all, thank you very much for joining, and we will see you all Friday, hopefully. Stay safe online, right? Take care.
Deuces.
But